in overcoming my overwhelming spaces. It's been a long time coming. I have lots of overwhelming spaces, and one of which we're going to be tackling today, a kitchen declutter and organize and clean up. So I hope that you can stay along if that's something that you want to enjoy. So let's get into it. I have a giant kitchen. I have lots of cabinet space, and sometimes that can be an issue. I need to declutter for this season, as in being summer, and also my season in my life. My kids are a little bit bigger. I do have some excess because I thrift a lot, and I have some favorites that I want to keep around, but some other things are getting in the way, and it's hard to put things away, get things taken care of, and I need to have little things a little bit more streamlined. So if you're interested in that, let's go ahead and get into it. I've got a couple days that I've been working, and I cannot wait to continue on this process. So if you're with me, let's get to working. Starting right off, this is the containment container I'm going to be using, and I'm going to start with these pull-out containers where I've got some pots and pans and some serving dishes, and I know exactly what needs to go and what is not working well. I want to clear this off for some other containers and pots and pans that will serve me better being here. Cleaning all this out was a breeze. I vacuumed a little bit and wiped it down, and it was ready for the next stage. So in here I got all my cast iron, and it's a lot of it. So let's see if I can fit it in that drawer, because this has definitely become too much, and I don't have a home. I need to have a home. So hopefully they can live maybe on these drawers or down here stacked. We'll see. I've got a couple things that I am going to take time to think about. The kids are playing over there. So I've got 2 KitchenAid things, because I've had like other KitchenAids in the past, and I actually have a glass bowl that goes in there on that one, but it's dirty because I haven't done my dishes. And this is a really cute serving cake thing. Thrifted it. I don't think I really need it anymore, but we'll see. We'll give it some time. This is an Anchor, pitcher container. It's pretty scratched and dinged up. Don't think I use it as much as I should to keep it in a prime real estate. I got this nice Tefal pan, stainless steel. I just don't use it that much. And this extra Cuisinart pan, I don't use that much. I use these 2 the most. And I don't think, especially this time of year, I'm gonna need this and that, maybe in the winter. So maybe something just like put away, and see if my cast iron will work here. And I've got tons of bowls. As you can see, I got a thing for glass. I've thrifted all these. I had one bigger and it cracked. I was so upset. Trying to replace, I think this is 1 quart saucepan. I don't know. I have to look it up. I'm not really good with sizes, but I had one that was bigger, and I definitely need to replace that one because it was awesome. And I got some other bowls, as you can see, a lot of glass containers. Some of these I think have served their time. Wow, do we have to be that loud?
Yeah, listen, don't be that loud.
So I'm gonna see what I can do with these, but we got the chaos of the kids here, so we're gonna try to get them into a new place so that I can work. But just gonna try to move these things over here and see if that will help at all. So the oven is emptied of these, and I was trying to put them in order of like what I use first off. I use this big giant one all the time. I just got a few of these. Some of them are thrifted. This one really needs some TLC, but this, I guess a griddle or skillet here. Probably just a grill because it has a low lip. And this bread pan, I use that a lot. This I use all the time. You can tell I just clean them because they have a little bit of residue. And then I've got like a pan, and I can put one of these on top, like a Dutch oven option. And then this one's like a griddle or a grill, and that's new. I don't know how much I'm gonna use it, but I think placing it on top like this, it's definitely gonna clear. I think that will help with the cast iron because those are always used all the time. I actually wanna use those more than my stainless steel and glass if I can. But it just depends on what I'm cooking, and we cook a lot. So up to this glass stuff, I don't even know. I think I'm gonna keep these on and all these, but I'm definitely gonna purge some of those. I don't think that those are as necessary. I actually have like 3 bowls downstairs. People either give them to me or I thrift them cheap, but I'm definitely keeping this antique-y Pyrex, and I have another one of these with a different print downstairs. and a whole glass one that's from Pyrex. Oh, and hey, do you know these Pyrex are not tempered? I don't know if you've heard that through the grapevine, but all of mine are fake now, so that stinks. I really use these 3-cupper ones a lot, so I actually bought another one, but I didn't know that it wasn't like a real good Pyrex brand. I was pretty upset when I heard and learned about that. You want the capital P one. Of course, check on that to make sure I'm right, but yeah, definitely that stinks. So I'm gonna try to fill this up with the things that I use more often. Definitely the cast iron, that fits so good. And I'm excited about that sitting like a glove. Nothing of this is dirty, of cast iron that is. A lot of other things are dirty, but I really wanted to get into this because this summer I've changed some things around with the plates and different things, so I definitely don't need to have other things sitting in here taking up prime real estate where that would be useful. And it looks really nice there, so I'm gonna do some more work. Let's see what we can do. Okay, got a couple more things done. I'm gonna put this lid here because I know that that is in my wash, and I know that's gonna be about the size of it for the most part. I'm keeping these, but I also use these for a good amount of things. This is usually our cake pan for like birthdays and stuff, and then these are the Rachel Ray things. I really like them. There's one that has like a divider, and so they kind of nest on top of each other really well, so I don't really want to purge those. All my little, you know, fakely Pyrex measuring cups. It kind of stinks anyway. I'll get over it, I guess, someday. All of my cast iron. And here I've got my glass pans. These nest really well here, and they're sturdy. They're not gonna, you know, be falling. This is my splatter guard, and then my one cast iron skillet that I'm gonna be keeping around. So I think that looks a little bit better, a little bit more improved. I've got to decide on these bowls. I really like this one. I thrifted it. The thing with thrifting is you can kind of like, you know, the palm recipe, I guess. Oops, I think that's actually, you know, a good brand or something, but I want to keep that for like salads, and then this is really good for popcorn or breads. So I think they're pretty versatile to keep around, so I'm going to try to do that. To decide on the juice containers. I prefer the one with the lid, so we'll have to see. Oh boy, I've got dishes galore that I kind of ignored because I knew I needed to do this. So one cabinet down. We'll see how far we can get with what we're gonna put in here. I've got the 2 Rachel Ray containers, glass containers here. They're kind of beat up, and I'm sure I could dry erase that or whatever, but they're just gonna sit in here in quarantine. The other things I already showed you are there, and this bread maker I really love, but I'm thinking it needs another home. It might fit in these. This is where I put some of my other appliances. The thing with my kitchen is I have a lot of storage. I have a lot of options, so sometimes I tend to use it, if that makes sense. Some people would say, no, you definitely don't want to have that. Oh, one moment. With the containment bin, there was a few things that were broken and busted, and that was an easy decision. Went ahead and recycling if it was something that could be recycled or something that needed to just be get rid of in the trash. I do have a perpetual donation bin because I try to practice every time I have something that I know I want to get rid of, I go ahead and get it in that bin. When that bin's up at a certain particular point, I'll go ahead on my errand day and get rid of that, whether it's at the Salvation Army or any place that I can donate that easily, because that is the plan, just to get it out easily. So with this giant container, I was able to fill it up and some, so that was exciting. I'm gonna make another pass through it and see if there's things that I can sell at a yard sale or just pass along, something I need to donate. So having this container right in the middle, smack middle of my kitchen, was something I was able to do, and then I was able to fill in the gaps with some things I brought down from my upper cabinets because I like to decorate up there, but it also became a storage space. I know, another storage space. So I was able to get a lot taken care of in this containment vessel, this time will tell bin, all the different names that it's given by all of the experts here. It's just a bin that I'm going to revisit at some point, whether it's in the winter or what have you, or for a yard sale, and I'm gonna be able to take care of that. So I'm really excited that that was easy and handy, and I was able to do this post my kids' bedtime, a lot of this, and got a lot accomplished. This this was probably the most taxing of all of the areas of my kitchen because of all the little pieces and knickknacks, and I surveyed all of the drawers beforehand. I pretty much knew what was not working well, what was not staying as organized as it originally did when it was first put in order. So this was a hard fix because of all the things I had to touch. Every single knife, spoon, and container, and all of the filth that had been fallen into the drawers from the espresso machine and other places. So you may find this as well, that these drawers with the spatulas and the forks and the knives, it's going to cost you a little bit more time and a lot more mental energy, I think, to decide what am I going to keep, what am I going to purge, and so on and so forth, and then where to place those little knickknacks. So just to warn you, if there's something that you want to work on quickly, maybe have those quick wins, like kind of what I started with, and not be working in the utensil drawer. I guess we could call the utensil drawer like the sentimental drawer, as in it's something that you want to deal with after because it has so much to it and a lot of grime, and just trust me, you might want to deal with it later. Oh, so I laid everything out, and as I pulled it out, I tried to organize everything according to where I was going to be putting it. I had a whole little cheese knife set and a little slate. I knew that was going to be needed to be put in another area. The silverware, just put that down, and some other containers. I was pretty sure they went together, and was able to organize it that way. So that really did help also, as you're cleaning out the drawer, to organize it as you place it, to limit all of the touching and times you need to visit these particular items. Now, if you are squeamish, I probably didn't get you in time. I cut myself. And here's another reason. I had a little cutter I use for my sourdough breads and everything. I have too much going on here that I didn't even know where the little leather cover was. So to have a more simplified kitchen, to have things pared down, it's really going to help me. I can see, even if it's just to keep me out of danger. So removing all of these and cleaning the container out was a really big win, because it was always lots of crumbs. It's always amazing to me, like, you wash your forks and spoons and knives, and then there's crumbs inside of the holder. I don't even know. I don't think I'm the only one that has that happening. So, give it a little rinsey rinse, and back to organizing all of the silverware back on the counter. And here's a product that is new to me. It's called museum wax. I know that it's not new around the YouTube world, but I got myself a little container of it. And I used to use other pieces of like painter's tape and other things to keep my holders and containers from sliding and whacking around in the drawer. But I thought this would be pretty great. I actually use it with my planters, my plants. It just makes things a little more secure. They say it's earthquake proof. I just say it's kid quake proof. When the kids are running around, if something gets thrown, like a stuffy or something, across the room or whatever, it can keep these things safe. So you roll them around in your hand for quite a bit, and you get them all tacky, and you place them to where you want to have some adherence. So these are easy to remove. It is exactly what it says. It's wax, so you can just scrape it off. So I'm not worried about any damage that can happen. As long as your surface is clean, go ahead and place your containers where you want them to sit. Give them a good press and mold that museum wax around, and It stays pretty firm. It doesn't slide around. I'm pretty excited. I might need to add a little more as time goes on because this gets heavy use, but for now it seems really secure. I am quite pleased. This next drawer down, I don't really feel like it was terrible. And I do think that the organization that I had in here was okay. There are some things that I'm going to relocate to their seasonal use areas, like the little picker-uppers for the canning and all of that, and different items that just need to be put in not a prime real estate area. But it's been a little while since I got rid of my on-the-counter knife block, and let me tell you, it is a whole new world. I am so excited that I put them in the drawer. Now my kids are a little bit older. I know that that's a concern. Some parents have. Having it up and away on the top of the counter is a little bit safer, so do keep that in mind, or you need to like lock that drawer, that cabinet, or just make sure it's out of the way of little ones. But my children, I'm actually training them to use knives and to cut things when it comes to food items and so on. So they definitely have a healthy fear and training and understanding in using knives. So we're at that point that I can have them in a drawer and it's not a fear factor. Now, a couple of mine, I don't know if I'm the only one, but take some butter knives or steak knives to like do things we shouldn't. So some of them were bent, so I decluttered those. I took a deep look at what I had, and I knew that I had some more knives that were put down in the drawer below, as you can see behind the spices. And I really needed to remedy that because we don't use them, we don't pull for them. I do like them better for steak and like when we're having people over, but if it's just us, we don't really need that. So I decided to pull this drawer apart as well, and that's not usually what I do. I like to take small bites with things because if I ever have to walk away, like if one of my kids woke up from something in the night and that's when I'm cleaning, I don't want to be stuck with all of this stuff all over the place. If it's during the day, same situation. I have young children at home. I don't want to get so into and involved that I can't step away and things be safe and so on. So anyway, because of all that, I probably wouldn't do this regularly, but I was confident that I could get this accomplished. Look at all these knives, like, oh boy. I decided that the best thing to do, of course, was to clean out all of these drawers, but to take the knives and the other things that are going to be just used on an occasion, like an entertainment or like a hospitality, get together, people will be coming over and I need a little bit extra steak knives or some serving spoons. I decided to put those up and away, and you'll see in a little bit above the refrigerator, those cabinets that no one really gets into. That's where I'm going to place them. And I actually had an extra thrifted little silverware drawer, so you'll see that in a second. That worked out famously, and to keep those out of the regular area is going to keep down on the mess and keep down on all the stuff that can be grabbed, and potentially having about 48 and a half steak knives in the dishwasher at one time. I can't say that has ever happened, but it could, because we have them, so we use them. Again, I have some order in a way, pulling everything out, putting it out on the counter, separating things according to the seasonal and what we're going to be putting back, and just having a little bit more organized to, again, cut down on all the touching and all the organizing, if that's even possible, because there truly is quite a bit.
So for this drawer, my idea definitely was to categorize having all the knives, the cast iron, insulators, and my Danish dough hooks, scrapers, cheese cutter, things that we use more on a, more daily basis. And then down below, more of the cutters and the specialty scoops and things that we really enjoy, the garlic press, all that stuff, the pizza cutter. To have a place for those. Now you saw I just moved over that wonderful little sharp thing that I cut my finger on a little bit ago, moving that to the bread area, because keeping that in the category I think is really going to help the bazillion scrapers, if you know, you know, and then all of the other utensils. So I thought this would be more of our utensil drawer, the things that we use to scrape or pick up things or to cook with, other than the other wooden spoons and spatulas that we keep on the main counter. So hopefully that will work. I'm foreseeing that it will, and be something easy to replace and put away, because everything seems to nest really nicely into this drawer. Took me a little while to situate things and figure out how to put it just so. Also being able to know that it's there and that people can put it in and out. I'm thinking that that is going to work out great. Here is a look at the first drawer. I put some of my latte stuff in there, and this is the knife and bread drawer. I got that weigher and different things in there. And then the next one is more of our utensils for the scraping, and the measuring cups I actually put in there as well, and some of the funnels we use on a daily basis. So I'm thinking these are looking just amazing. Here are the entertainment pieces. I got some silver from my grandmother. I've got all the, seriously, bazillion and a half steak knives. And the pie cutter and the cheese cutter and even the nutcracker. I'm going to put those up. And here, of course, my museum wax is staying. I love that stuff. But here are some things that need to go to different places, and then some things are broken, so they need to be put into the giant container that I am going to be putting in quarantine. And don't worry, all of those glass jars did make it to stay around, but I'm using them kind of as placeholders in my first container that I did, my Easy Win cabinet. Here is the steak knife container that we're going to keep around. I'm going to put my little cheese containers or cheese cutters there as well, some of the sharps in that one area, and then this Dollar Tree brown basket. All of this works perfectly above the refrigerator. Now, I did use care not to lose my life doing this. If you know, you know. It is extremely hard to get up into these little cabinets. I don't even know why they exist. Probably just for the aesthetic carrying on of, carrying on of the cabinets. It just looks nice. I don't know. They really serve little to no purpose, but we do have our little serving set here for like tea. If we're gonna have like a little poetry tea time or something, some fancy dancy little plates that I have that I've kept on. I've purged so many, but these are some that I have kept from Grammy. I really, really do enjoy them, but this fit so perfectly up here. I am so pleased, and I'll know when we're going to be having some steak or some entertaining, I can just get on up here and find a way to pull them down, and then we don't always have them in our regular circulation, and I think that is just fine. Instead of getting rid of them, we know that we'll use them at some point, so just keeping them up and away in a special spot for entertaining purposes. Pretty excited. I cannot reach the door, so I had to use the spoon. You know. If you are still with me and you've been enjoying this first half of this entire kitchen declutter and organize and clean, would you please give this video a like? It really helps my channel and helps other people find this video, so it gives them the encouragement that it's given you. And I'm so thankful that you are here. And if you like this type of content and cozy, simple living, you could consider subscribing and stay a while. I would love to have you here on my growing YouTube family. It is so encouraging to hear from y'all in the comments and to get to know you and know that you enjoy all that is shared here.
There's one more container that I want to go through with you right in this segment as we finish up the kitchen. And now that everything's clean, everything's put away, everything has their spot, I can really see where things need to go, what needs to go, what needs to be relocated. And it's pretty nice to see it all falling in together. So pretty thankful for the process. Dishwasher is loaded. Some things in the sink because we actually live here, so that's the way it goes. We're going to go over to the other side of my kitchen, and again, we live here. Stuff that goes to compost, all that. Anyway, so down below here, I have a container that I need to reorganize. I have a Instapot that needs to be put down there, and a lot of things that need to be redone. Over here, this is working really well. We've had it like this for a little while. We have our processor here. We've got a mixer blender, some different coffee things we don't use too often, but they're there. My KitchenAid, it doesn't get to live on my counter because we don't use it a whole lot. Not every blessed day, but almost. So it just sits out here. It's just so much easier than cleaning around it. And my bread maker, you know, this might move, but we'll see. And I got my pizza peel. So there's not a whole lot. Oh, and a little griddle thing on that side, but there's not a whole lot in here. And this is working pretty well since we reorganized. This, however, has always been a little difficult. You know, the pots and the pans and the grinders and the attachments and, you know, lunch boxes and grilling things. So this needs to be assessed. I do have some type of organization here, but I'm going to take these things out, see if everything needs to live here or not, and then put back in what needs to live here, and then the other things can find a different space, or maybe they can go into my bin of things that I have to get these things out. Everyone said declutter, but like, let's just get all this out of here and see what we got. Well, this is a bit beat up. I think this was a little bit like this when we first moved in, but boy, has been worse. We keep a cord here so that I can plug stuff in because the cord is all the way back here, and that's kind of, I don't know, just something that when we redid the kitchen, the house builder just didn't bring the line, you know, up here or anything. They just left it there. So anyways, I'm going to keep all these muffin tins because I have a boatload of kids and we definitely make muffins, and the pizza stones can stay. Yes, I got 2 round ones and a rectangle and a squarish one. Yes, I love these. There's no way I'm getting rid of those. Big giant sheet pan, and yes, it's grimy, but we use parchment and we scrub it when we can. And I have a smaller sheet pan here and some other things that I pulled out. Let's take a look at those. Here I have my grill peel. I'm going to keep that probably with my other peel. That would be good. I picked this up at the thrift store. It's a Pampered Chef little, I don't know, mold for cookies or for candy bars. I think I'm going to keep this around a little bit longer. I might put it up, well, actually it won't fit up there. I'm going to put it with my cake stuff and other molds that I have, but I don't think that's going to work. This I use a lot for probably not the intended purpose to cover it and bring it somewhere, but for keeping things clean if I'm working on top, or the kids use it for crafts. It's just really awesome. But it's a Teflon top to this pan. So definitely not used for that purpose. Keeping this Teflon pan. I'm going to put it with the other one over here, just like so. They usually dock together just fine. But this is always hard to figure out where that should fit. I have no idea, maybe like that. And I keep the cooling racks over inside them, and sometimes it keeps other things from pulling next to it. I know it looks crazy, but it seems to work. And I think if I throw anything else in there, it's gonna be too crowded. These I never use. They're for like protecting your counter when your stones come out. So I'm wondering if I need to put these in a different place, like with my entertainment stuff. Up above the stove. I don't know if I'm gonna, up above the refrigerator that is. I don't know if I'm gonna remember those are there though. Honestly, I'll probably forget about it. Over here we have a broken waffle iron. It just doesn't spin super well. I think I might put this in the bin for later to decide if that works. This needs a new home, definitely. It's always trouble. And these go out to the grilling and fire pit. Now that it's summer, those can go out there. So that's what we're gonna do with those. And we have the rest of this to decide, which is the bane of my existence. This is a blender, so that works well, but like my grinder, other attachments, fry cutter, apple peeler, other KitchenAid attachments. Oh boy. So I've got to figure that out and see what needs to go back in here, because I don't think all of this does. I don't know. I definitely have to be able to fit my Instapot in here. So we'll see if we can make space. That worked out splendidly. This got retidied. Not much got purged here. I do like this in the middle. It's easy to grab. It has a little slot in a way in between the items. These items I'm going to keep back here. My bread machine fits good here because we've removed other stuff. So that can live here a little bit longer, and then we get the plug and then a whole bunch of dirty stuff, but that's okay. I moved my Instapot back to its original home. Its lid is in the washing machine. Dishwasher, not washing machine. Dishwasher, and it's all gonna be put back together. So that was the only change over there. So this is working out nicely. Looks good. And there's a few things I was gonna add over here, like this peel, grill peel. However, that will work out probably in there. And that's that side of the kitchen. The containers, which is good. Let me show you the things that I was able to put into my time will tell containment bin for my kitchen, for my huge kitchen declutter. And yeah, so let's turn the camera around. I'm going to show you a few things you've probably already seen throughout this video, but that it is totally full. And I have a few things that I'm actually going to go through and then get rid of. But in that quick taking care of things, I just put it right in that bin. And if I wasn't able to make a decision right off if it was leaving, it just went in that bin. So it was an easy decision just to not have it in my profitable or my prime real estate in my kitchen cabinets and just giving me a hard time as I'm trying to keep up my kitchen. So we'll turn the camera around. I'm going to show you what is in my bin. All right, so we have a whole bunch of glasswares. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be keeping some milk jugs and milk bottles. Here is the waffle iron that we just took out of down in the lower cabinets in the island. We've got some risers. I don't think I'm gonna need these, at least not right off. Some plastic cups and things that are gonna go in containment for a little while because I'm not quite sure. And some other things, some serving cups, some plates that I know can probably surely go are in here. And I've got my big cake plate. Try not to break anything. I've got this here. This might be something to revisit. But other than that, some things, oh, I wanted to put this in my seasonal bin. I'm glad I went in there. A lot of these things have been thrifted in the first place, so I'm not too worried to see them be canned up for a little while. That I don't mind about because I did thrift. It's not something that cost me a whole lot of money, or it's something that I've used for a long time. I mean, these are really cheap, but it's a good organizer, so I'll just keep that in here. Oh, this one actually, this thing doesn't work in this, ooh, cling clang, doesn't work in this refrigerator, so that can go as well. So that's kind of cleared out, oh my goodness, that kind of cleared out this bin just a little bit so that the lid will probably close. I'm thinking when I bring this down, it's kind of heavy, and hubby's not here to drag it down for me, so whew, I might just push this in a corner where it's not bothered, or bring it down to my garage if I am so dare. So those are the things that I decluttered from my kitchen, and it made things a little bit easier. Oh, this might make it overfilled now. That made it a little bit easier to keep up this season, summertime, to figure out how to keep my kitchen a little bit clean. Maybe you need to pare down some things in your kitchen. Maybe you need to think about seasonal. Maybe you need to think about your season of life, or maybe like the season like summer. You're gonna be cooking outside more and you really want things more streamlined because you're gonna be spending more time outside and hopefully out on the go with your family. You don't want to be spending all this time making comfort foods and being in the kitchen. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this time here in this episode of Overcoming My Overwhelming Spaces. I have a whole bunch of other videos that I have done in this series, and you can find that right here, or a new video that you can watch right here. Thanks for being here. We'll catch you later. Bye.